What's up, guys? Thank you all for tuning into Project Renaissance Man episode 12. And today I'm going to give you a special episode. And it is special because today happens to be my grandmother's birthday. And she had passed away years ago. But in tribute to her, this episode has everything to do with a quality that she had possessed, which I find to be not only unique but also invaluable, especially when you are in moments of darkness and things are just really rough. And that quality that she had possessed would basically, fittingly, cause me to entitle this episode "Be the Light," because it didn't matter how rough things were, or how gloomy things were. She was always not even the type of person to find the light, but furthermore, the type of person to bring the light, to create light. And she would bring this, and you could be dirt poor, and she just brought that special light that just lifted your spirits. It was an aura. She had an energy about her, and the rest of my family can easily attest to that. Because we've all experienced it. Just incredible. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to get into I'm going to give you guys some pointers on how you can be the light and how to practice being the light. Because sometimes it is difficult, to rally ourselves to that level of positivity. But the first pointer I want to give you guys is to be inspired by just the basic idea of being the light. I mean, just think about how amazing it is. Just thinking about that. If things are rough or you see somebody who's down, just to know that you have the power to change that. To change the way somebody's day turns out. To change the world itself. It's just a beautiful thing. And so finding inspiration and knowing what you're able to do, if you can be the light alone, is one of the best ways, I think, to become the light, because it gets you to want to be it, because of how powerful you are as an individual, how impactful you are as an individual when you are able to assume that status. And I'm just improvising here, but these are definitely things that I feel are ways to become the light. Another way I feel that you can become this is when you compare your situation to situations past that may have been worse. Like if you've climbed out of a worse state, and you're in a better state. You're not right where you want to be yet. You may be exhausted from the ascent because you're not even close to being, where you want to be. But it's very nice to look back and say, well, I got past all of this. And if I can just push on forward so I don't ever end up back into that state again. And I've already proven to myself that I can progress and advance and put myself in a better state. So I'm going to keep pushing forward. I think that's another way that you can become the light. Because I think the whole idea behind this is so long as you can have a positive mindset, you are, even in a very small amount, becoming the light. And then if I had to pick a third pointer to give you guys, I would probably go with, just give me one moment to think about this. I think you can't go wrong with music. I think if you just listen to some music that really picks you up, that makes you feel good, you got to look at music and the power of it. And there's a reason music was used, when people went to war during the Civil War, when you had war drums back in the day, in very early times. Music's always found its way in those events. I mean, it's even used. There's a reason why it's walkout. There's walkout music for fighters in MMA. It pumps you up, man. Music has a power like nothing else. And so, if I had to say another way as to how you can become the light, I'd say get some music flowing through your body and through your mind and your soul, and you'll start glowing like you wouldn't believe. I mean, a lot of us already know that. We already feel that, and we use music to grind through life and to get through a lot of hard things, and of course to know that we're not alone, because there are musicians that write and perform music that is very pertinent to our own personal situations. So they would be my 3 pointers for how you can become the light. And you know what? I'm going to list a bonus pointer here, and this kind of can really tie into my New Year's Eve or my New Year's Day vlog that I did that had to do with attitude. And this is just basically the whole pragmatic way of seeing it. So obviously, if you look at it that way, you're going to realize what kind of benefit does it have for you to not be the light. If you look at it in a practical way, if you are not the light, if you are extremely diminished, you can't even be a service to yourself. You can't even, you could be in a state where you cannot climb out of, because you're not giving yourself a chance. When you don't look at what's necessary, to become in a better state. So you do need some light, in some way, shape, or form, to rise up and assume a much more positive, vigorous, healthy state. So, yeah, I would say those are my 4 pointers for you guys with regard to becoming the light. And before I, get out of here, I'd like to say that she was an amazing woman in that sense, because judging by her state, like the way she lived and the little bit she had, she exemplified someone who could find so much joy in the smallest of things. Just having time with other people, not needing anything material, was what lifted her. And she could go get half a gallon of ice cream or a party bucket of ice cream, and that could make her day, man. And I think it's those things that allowed us to inherit that way of seeing the smaller things in life as big things. Small things can be grand, and she definitely demonstrated that, how huge these small things can be. These things that a lot of people overlook. They're like, oh, I ate ice cream. Don't even think twice about it. Like, it's not a big deal. And, I mean, to this day, it makes my day if I can get a cup of coffee. So, I learned something from her, and as well as the rest of my family did. We can all find something grand and beautiful in the smallest of things because of her, I would say. So, just a shout out to her. I love her, and we all do. So thank you all for tuning in to this 12th episode of Project Renaissance Man. If you enjoyed the video and feel it has benefited you, please be sure to give me a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you all on Wednesday. Peace.